All right, so today we're back in the shed. Had planned on doing a bit of mowing. It's just started raining. I thought what better time than to get stuck in and get this thing back out again. So yeah, jack stands here because safety first, and one half finished project. So get these bikes out, make a bit of room, and get this thing up in the air and make some progress on it. All right.
But it's black ink, evil half of the bad meats. Evil that means take a backseat, take it back to fat beats with a maxi single. Look at my rap sheet. What attracts these people is my gangster bitch like Apache with a catchy jiggle. I stack chips, you barely got a half-eaten Cheeto. Fill him with the venom and eliminate him. Other words, I'm intimate him. I don't wanna hurt him, but I did him in a fit of rage. I'm murdering again, nobody will evade him. Finna kill him and dump the fucking bodies in a lake, obliterating everything is generator. Renegade him, hit him, make anybody who want it with the pin and frame. Don't nobody want it, but they're gonna get it anyway. Cause I'm beginning to feel like I'm mentally ill. I'm a killer, be killed, I'm a killer, be the vanilla gorilla. You're bringing the killer within me out of me. You don't wanna be the enemy of the demon who in me. I be in the receiving enemy. What stupidity it'd be. Every bit of me's the epitome of a spitter when I'm in the...
All right, that definitely wasn't as easy as I anticipated, but we'll drag the manifold and turbo it off, pull dump pipe out, pull the hot side off, makes it a little bit easier to get to engine mounts, and yeah, see how we go from there. So, the amount of times I've seriously pulled engines in and out of cars on the ground, I'm getting sick of it. And if I was to ever move again, I think a hoist would be definitely something I'd invest in, because it's just getting to the point of where it's ridiculous. While the car's up in the air, I think it'd be a good time to pull the wheels off. Like I said, we've got to roll guards, and we've got to do a few other things. I've got to work out some fuel lines, replace some fuel lines and that kind of stuff. I'm yet to put the aftermarket fuel pump in. I think I was going to go like a 040, I think it was. Bosch usually make a pretty good pump around at 040 on the Silvia, so pretty reliable. And like I said, we're not going to be chasing stupid power, just sort of reliable. So we'll do that. I've actually never pulled the fuel pump out of a BMW, so hopefully it's not too hard. Hopefully it's not under the seat, because that's going to be a real pain in the ass. But anyways, all in the learning curve. Yeah, right. Damn, boy. Why you gotta do that to me? Why you do like that? No, ma. Maybe from underneath. Good times. Aha! Stay. Get spoolie boy off. Stay. Manifold. I pulled the studs out last time that Casey modified this. Didn't end up getting back to it, so I can't even remember what kind of mounts these were. I'm pretty sure they're an RB30 mount. I know that the angling and the height difference is slightly different between all of them. So when putting the engine in, I had 25, 30, 20, and 25 DE mounts. They all sort of sit differently on the block. Slightly have more pitch, some of them have more height. So really trying to get the engine to sit under that bonnet line is actually just ridiculous. So I think I've still got to try and pitch the motor down a little bit more. While it's out, I might tinker around, see what I can do as far as knocking them a bit of height off them too, because the 30 block actually adds an extra, I think it's about 32 mil. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, the 30 block as opposed to the 25 block is a lot higher, so that's where we lose our sort of our head height and we foul on that bonnet. So anyways, Gonna grab that crane, drag it at the front here, and slide under, drop the gearbox mount, and yeah, get it out and make some room somewhere there. Pulled out the drive shaft, and I'm glad that this is actually coming back out because I completely forgot about this. Check out this. That is actually a jack mark from where someone has dropped the car onto the jack. This was not done by me. I remember when it was on Casey's hoist. I remember seeing this and remembered I had to change it. But look at it. That would have had the biggest vibration in it. So I'm glad that is out. But we might even go a single piece depending on how much power we want down the future. But yeah, we need a new center bearing. That's all busted out. One thing I will recommend, if you ever drive a BMW, the thing to do, number one thing, this is the bolt on the, I'm not sure if you can actually see it. This is actually the bolt on the shaft that connects to the diff. It's like a weird stud. It's like a star type thing. It just, they strip out so easy. So replace the bolts that go from the drive shaft to the diff because they just flog out instantly. Something with a hex head, not this gay star type thing that they actually are. Always rip out. And the second thing to do if you ever own a BMW is studs on the hub. So BMWs actually don't come with a stud on the hub. They are sort of a threaded bolt type thing that goes through the wheel into the hub. Super annoying if you're trying to change wheels quickly at the track. You got nothing to really hang your wheel on. So definitely a stub kit. Most places, most sort of aftermarket import places will do it. eBay even has cheaper versions of it. You don't really need to go all out, but something you can actually hang wheels on. Makes life a whole lot easier. So shafts out, pull this engine out. All right, we're ready. This is not kosher. I have lent my chains out last time I lent the crane out, and I don't know if they came back or I just can't find them, but they ain't there. But this is like rated to like 3.5 tons, so we're good. We're good. Safety first. All right, let's get this up and see if we can't hurt ourselves. It's always so much harder by yourself, but like literally, who do you call? Who do you drag out? We can't actually have anyone over at the moment because you guys probably know if you're watching this, we're in the middle of the COVID-19, so obviously the airborne virus that came from China. We are amidst of it, and we're in kind of pretty much lockdown. So no one's really allowed to visit, no one's allowed to come over, no one's allowed to go anywhere. It's shit, but yeah. So getting a hand in this time is sort of hard, but that's all right. Hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. All right. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Huh. Easy. And we only lost a little bit of gearbox oil. But it's okay. That's life. But it's out, which is good. BMWs have this amazing ability to pull the entire radiator support, K-frame, whatever you want to call it, completely off. Like so. Nissans, Toyotas, all that kind of stuff. Rad support is tack welded to side fenders, and it just doesn't come off as easy. So getting engine in and out is sort of like a upwards and out maneuver. BMW is just all right there. Very cool. But yeah, if we actually, I'll actually grab, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but if we turn this thing over, you're not really going to be able to. But there is definitely some sort of knot coming in from the back end of this sump. So like I said in the other video, there's the 10-litre extended sump. BMW crossmember sits there. The modification on this sump is very shallow, so something clearly is knocking, and this is the whole reason the engine's got to come back out.
2,000 years later.
Sump is off. So upon closer inspection, it looks like it has had some sort of minute bump here. Could have been myself, it could have been in transportation of the engine before I installed it, but the sump has been pushed up, and upon closer inspection you can see here the crank is rubbing on the two baffles. Okay, so yeah, when that motor was turning over, the rear of the crank was just low enough to rub on the baffles, hence our noise here and here. So I'll get a piece of wood, get a hammer, we'll try and massage this back down, and yeah, see how we go. Alright guys, so we are running out of daylight really quickly. I ended up tacking the sump back up there, and then I thought I'd better pull it off and do it properly. I was going to use the old gasket. The old gasket, technically a new gasket, but old gasket has never been run with oil before, so technically it should be fine, but I thought head down to Supercheap tomorrow morning, grab some gasket glue, and just double up on gasket glue and original OEM gasket, just to be safe than sorry. So obviously everything's shut now, so I'll shoot down in the morning and I'll grab some stuff there. But we did chuck on the starter motor. Can't really see, it's dark, but we chucked on starter motor and oil relocation housing. So we can do that tomorrow. We can mount that up somewhere cool. I'd love to have it running outside of the bumper, mounted to the front, but yeah, as you know, Australian police they're very strict, so we'll get that up tomorrow. Like I said, gasket glue, put the sump back up there, and hopefully mount that oil relocation system. I sat the sump back up there, wound it over by hand. Everything's clearing, everything's good. So yeah, push on tomorrow and see what the day holds. So I just got everything back inside. Pretty much perfect timing because it started raining again. I feel like I got a fair bit done today, but it's just so discouraging, you know. You watch videos and vlogs of other people working on cars, and the progression just feels like they've gotten so far. But then you remember that they have endless money and 7 staff working on cars, and just one man on a little red toolbox just doesn't get as far, does it? But anyways, all right guys, we're back. We have our gasket glues. We've got our Ultra Black for our oil pan, and we have our red RTV for our water neck. So I'm going to put the thermostat in and water neck, seal that. Obviously, make sure you guys use the right glues. It makes a big importance. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think on the cork gasket? So OEM cork gasket for the RB25 and RB30. Do you guys reckon I should double up on gasket glue and the cork gasket, or run just cork, or run just gasket glue? Pan's cleaned up, it's been all pushed back. The baffles were actually hitting, like we said yesterday. We angled them back a bit and sort of rounded that pan so it sort of had a bit more of a belly in it. We will chuck the gasket on, gasket glue, but still not sure if it's the right way to go, but can't go wrong with extra protection. So that's what she said. Our oil cooler, so we'll mount that up somewhere to the front of the rad support. Where do you guys think I should put it? Tell me. Anyways, let's get on to this. Alright, we're back. Sump is on. It's all good. Just let that tack dry for a second, and then I'll talk them up to spec. But it took me a bloody 25 minutes to even find my 10 mil. So it took a little bit longer than expected. This guy, tell you what, and I just noticed too, when I pulled the engine out, look, I nicked the bloody pulley. So might have to look at getting in spare one of those. But when I pulled the engine out, I ended up snapping the top stud off the engine mount. But all good, because I found these down at Supercheap. They're on the shelf. They're actually just a universal engine mount, but they came under the token of RX-7. So RX-7 engine mount, and they're substantially lower than the RB mount. I think the RB mount was, I don't know, probably another 15 mil on top of that. So we're actually squeezing every inch out of this thing we can, because the head height is just ridiculous in the RB. When we originally dropped it in, the manifold and the turbo was probably, I'm going to say 90 mil higher than the bonnet. Strut brace wouldn't even clear. Hopefully that solves our height issues with those small mounts. Awesome. All right, I'm going to call it here. It just gets so dark so quickly, so it's ridiculous. But drag this engine back in because it's like a 25-minute process just to get the bastard in by myself. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys, and see you next time.